routine. How did you get out of that?
I think obviously a lot have to do with my family and
Right.
always having a home base, and being, you know, because it wasn't, to them what I did was, as far as my acting, was irrelevant. To them it was important that I was a daughter and a sister. So they instilled those sort of, that moral compass. But I think what winds up happening is when you're a child actor, you think that's going to be your life forever. And the reality is it may not be. Their parents get so caught up in what they do that when, you know, God forbid, these kids ever are out of a career in the show business world, not only do these kids feel like their lives are over, but then they feel like they've ruined their parents' lives as well. And that's a lot of pressure. You know, plan B is very important in this business. I still have a plan B, and I've been doing this for 30 years, seriously. But also, when I think about it, I think that a lot of these kids, you know, they come from hard families that have struggled, and I think that they would have had difficult, you know, times anyway.
Well, but what about this, the Corey Haim case? I know you knew him in the 80s. Was he struggling with drugs then? I mean, there is that, too.
I don't know. I know that when he was a teenager, my parents did try to get him some help.
Really?
He was close with the family, and it was actually my parents and his manager at the time tried to get him some help, and that didn't work. And you know, this was something that he battled for a long, long time.
It's a sad story.
It's a sad story, and it's also sad that, you know, we tend to almost just throw away those child icons and idols when they're not, you know.
It's not easy to be a kid in this industry. There's so much rejection, there's criticism. As you said, you have guilt if you don't take care of your parents. It's really tough. It's
tough, yeah, and it was tough in the best circumstance, which is what I had. I can't imagine how hard it would have been if then you went home and had to deal with a whole different type of family toughness.
Right.
You know,
a lot of people look at you and they see you as a beautiful, successful actress, and I was reading that you are dyslexic, which is an interesting, I mean, people out there would like to know, I think, before we go, how do you overcome something like that and become the big success that you are? Because that is a bit of a handicapped sort of thing. I mean, it's not a handicap. I don't know how to explain it.
My mom always called it a learning difference.
Learning difference.
Yeah. I just learned differently than everyone else. And the only time I'm affected to this day is when I have to read something in a high-pressure situation. Like if I have to audition and I'm reading the script in the audition, it affects me.
Do you have anxiety attacks over it and panic attacks?
I don't. I don't have that. I probably would have. You know what I think helped a lot is that, and this is a good plus of growing up in this business, another